Hi, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I know it's super early morning. It is lunchtime, noon on the dot today for us. We're waiting for Robbo. He's going to be heading soon over to the train station. He should be there shortly. I'm really excited. I know that it's going to be quite a show. I know we had a good chat last night about his experiences before at Central Station. I know this isn't like that, but I know that this train is going to Central Station. No, going to Concord, I think he said. Is the line for it. Definitely should have looked that up. That'd have been fun. I know we had looked up the line yesterday, but I believe it was of the museum, not of the trip. But I'm excited. Again, I can't wait for Robbo to get some good gear and get a little more proficient with his GoPro so that we can get some more outdoor adventures from the wheelchair perspective. I know, I know how handling some obstacles during the day has to be frustrating. Has to be. I don't think we take those into account. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. There's a big old moving truck driving up my road. Yeah. It's a big old truck. My dogs decided they wanted to bark. I'm not sure where they are. It disappeared behind my curtain. Brian is busy at work. Again, more weed eating, so my nose I know is going to be crazy. Crazy allergies. Oh, look, it's me. Oh, they're pulling out something big. They're right in front of my house. I don't think they're dropping anything off here. I'm not expecting anything, so you'd think they'd knock if they were dropping something off at my house. Mm. Oh well. It's a nice day outside, though. Nice and blue sky. Although you could still see snow on top of some mountains. Yep, yep. A crisp 71 degrees. 73 outside. So it's warm. It's supposed to be 91, I believe. Or 88 today. Pretty warm. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers the weather is good for Robbo. It's nice to see the fall weather or the fall colors going away, but it's sad at the same time. We didn't get much of a fall. We got a whole lot of winter though this year. What is everybody's early morning plans? Other than watching us watch Robbo or join in on the fun. I forgot something on the title or on the hashtags. Do something real quick. It's been fun coming on these and spending time with you guys. I I know that my days would start different if I wasn't on here. I do appreciate you guys. I know that boys, knock it off. I have no idea what's going on. Oh well. Hope you guys can hear me well. I know my boys are loud to me, so they must be loud to you guys. 2 other people watching. Hello. Trying to stay hydrated today. Definitely take care of myself day today. Stay in the shade. Hydrate. I've had a bit on my mind lately. With things going on. Trying to motivate myself forward with it. With options, it's hard. I'm not used to taking the easy option. I'm used to, putting my head down and doing the hard thing until I can't handle doing anything else. That's what I'm used to. So this time around, it's a little bit more stressful. Yeah. Because I could take the easy way out and relax and take care of myself, and it's stressful on Ryan when I do that. He feels like he has to work twice as hard for the both of us. I mean, it's a struggle. Trying to get him to slow down too. It must be for my neighbor because he just came pulling up the driveway. So hopefully that got situated. Hope you guys are having a good morning. I know morning times are not always my favorite. I know one of my kids is the same. I feel like I had a dog hair on my face. It'd be nice to it'd be nice to hear. I know the trains scared Robbo and everything when they were, especially when you can't get away from it. I definitely don't want to feel the vibrations of it in a closed space like that. That would definitely hurt my ears too, especially right now. But out in the open, like he's gonna be today, that's definitely a plus. Um, you know, almost like listening for a lion in the wilderness. Not necessarily rare when you're around it all the time like you guys are, but it would definitely be for us here in America to hear a steam train go off like that. I know there are a few places close to us that we could go to. It's just not as open. It's more into the woods, through the woods, than it is close to the coast area, even though it's at the coast. And I'm not sure if there's a daytime route that goes up and down the coastal area. It does sound fun. My laptop's far away now. I'm gonna put myself off camera real quick, and you guys should still be able to hear me. I'm gonna move it closer so I can look up some of these train areas near us. There you go. Wow, see, so much closer. So we talked about this one before, and this is actually where we might be going sooner than later because this is where I wanted to go anyway during that time. So last Mother's Day, I made my family go with me to the redwoods and drive around in the forest. And now they have mom's ride for free on Mother's Day weekend. These these trails. So step back in time for a magical ride through the redwoods on the world famous skunk train. Since 1885, the historical skunk has made its way through old gross redwood groves, over scenic trestle bridges, through spectacular tunnels, and into the heart of the Nao River Canyon. Today's riders enjoy the same pristine view that have remained largely unchanged for well over a century. And see, those are the personal rider ones. I don't know about that. I would not. I don't think my body would be okay. But this right here is one of the free things for Mother's Day. And then the Wolf Tree Turn right here as well. It's a 2 hour over the highest point of our journey. I think I would rather like this one. Oh wow. At 10:30 in the morning. This day or that day. Wow. It looks fun. It looks a lot of fun. It looks like a resort type. See one or the other. It looks fun though. does. I'm not sure how many other. Um, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the Rail Museum in Medford. They have a more of a hands-on museum like Robbo's. I'm not sure. That one is the actual ride, the trains, and that is, oh my goodness, so much further the other way. But I do like the area. The area is beautiful with all the big trees, and it's called the world's famous skunk train. It's exciting. Oh no. That truck's not outside my house. It sounds weird. Nope, he's outside my neighbor's house. I can hear him. Or my neighbor's out beside my neighbor's house. I wish we could listen to music. Restream. We should restream something. Restream Bravo. It's gonna be a long hour waiting for Robbo. I have no idea. Sounds like the train's ready to go. Oh, here's morning trains. Here's some trains you might see this morning.
Hello.
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 I was about to show a movie. I was about to show something because I was like, this is going to be a really long hour.
Yeah.
It's not too dark out.
Oh, it's still dark.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
under
there's light. I mean, you can still see.
I'm under a street light. That's why.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. There's not much action yet.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I haven't seen anybody yet. So I don't know what's going on exactly.
You'd think everyone would be showing up soon.
Well, hopefully. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, to start putting everything on the train.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll hear some steam action soon down the line a bit. And I'll bring the steamer up. But yeah, at the moment, nothing. There is a light on in the cottage, so I'm hoping there's someone in the cottage. There's a bit of lighting. There's a bit of lighting going on inside the museum, so hopefully that means that there's action down there. But yeah,
You'd think
not too
someone
much.
would be prepping food right now.
Yeah, and oh shit, I've just realised my battery didn't charge last night. Far out. All right, so oh crap, I don't have much battery.
That's not good.
No, that's not good. I didn't. Oh, fuck. I'm sure I put my battery on charge last night, but yeah, I don't have much battery. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's not good. Just means I'm not going to be able to spend much time with you.
Yeah, no.
Um,
And Mark won't be on for another half an hour. And like I
Yeah.
said, I was about to show the morning trains from where you're, no, Tommore, instead of just show a train video that's 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So then Mark would be on at 6. But that means that you would only be able to be on for some of the getting ready and leaving and some of the getting there and getting past.
Yeah. I don't know why my phone didn't charge last night. That's really frustrating. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got some charge, so I mean it should last, but I can't come on here too much. That's all.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that it drains the battery too.
Yeah. So I'll stay for as long as I can.
No worries.
Shit, that sucks. I have no idea why it's doing that.
How was the trek? How was the trip there?
Dark. Only came across one car, which was good because they could only see me at the last second because it was too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was all right. I'm grateful that I only came across one car in the dark part.
Yeah.
The first half of the trip's dark because there's no street lights, but once I hit the street lights, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where I am, there's no real need for street lights where I am, so they don't put them in. But I wish they would.
Yeah.
But yeah, but what the second half of the trip, there's definitely street lights and it's much better.
Yeah. I met with the wildlife.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch out. I'm still gonna watch out for wildlife because it's pitch black. Yeah.
Don't want to startle a kangaroo.
No, definitely not. And I have done that before. I have come across a kangaroo in the dark before, when I'm in the wheelchair. Yeah. So that's not fun. But
it scares me. That's the only thing. It's scary. The thought of oh shit, what do I do?
That's right. Yeah. Now I was just thinking because I got such low battery.
Yeah.
I will try and get both trains, but at least I'm getting this first train, which we haven't seen on the stream before.
Yeah.
So, but I will still try to get both. But yeah, we'll definitely get the first one.
Don't forget to turn your phone sideways, so it shows more of it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as much as you can, like you said, get a close up, get. Oh,
hey, Mark.
Mark's in the chat.
Hey, Mark. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with my battery. I might have to get a new charger.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
That's not fun.
That sucks. hopefully Mark will be able to join you soon, so he can keep you company whilst I'm not available.
Yeah, we could talk about what the Garrett was used for.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they were very big locomotives. Like they're like this, as I said, like this one. It's currently the largest operating one in the southern hemisphere. So yeah, they're pretty damn big. I think they were used for both freight trains and passenger trains.
They sound like something that would definitely be used for freight trains.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
This sounds massive.
Yeah. For sure.
He said he'll jump on in about 30. Just getting ready for work.
No worries. Yeah, that's all good.
I had a nice nap.
That's good. I got to sleep fairly quickly, and my alarm woke me up. So yeah, that's good. And I'm rather cold at the moment. It's not exactly a warm morning.
I was gonna ask. I was hoping that it was not too cold because you said it was.
It is a bit cold.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I'm only shivering a tiny bit, but it's not too bad.
Last night it was getting colder and colder. This morning, it was getting
Yeah.
colder. Instead of warming up, it was getting colder, and I was like, that's why I was like shivering underneath the blanket. Like, why am I so cold? And I looked down, and it had gotten 4 degrees colder, 5 degrees colder in the time we had sat there.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. I wish I could hear something down at the museum.
Right.
I thought I would have heard something by now with the two steam locos being fired up. I thought I would have heard something down there. So I'm just outside the station. Like I'm parked at the bottom of the station.
Yeah.
So I thought I would have heard something from here. Yeah. So what were you going to show? Did you say you're going to show one of my old videos?
Yeah. The morning trains at Tullamore.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Very good idea. That's the one. That's the one where 3801 showed up for the first time on a trial run, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a good morning. Definitely a more later in the morning video because it's nice and bright. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that in the next 30 minutes the sun starts to come come up for you because
Yes, it is very dark still.
yeah.
I mean, you can see the tiniest bit of light in the distance, like it's showing its first signs of
Yeah.
coming, but only very faintly.
See, and that's what the sun's like, and when we get off in the morning, it's just starting to light up the blue of the sky.
Yeah. 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 No, it's definitely showing its first signs, so it's not far. But yeah, if I was just thinking, might get you to show that video so I can save some battery.
Yes.
And I will come back when there's something worth showing.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty, and Mark should be on.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I'll see you soon.
Definitely.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
These trains are very similar to our Amtrak, right? Mark, same general. idea. Electric, right? Diesel, right? Something. I'm sure they're not steam trains. I think I'd enjoy riding the train as a commuter. I know a lot of people would say no. Wow, that was a long free. So these are the four that are racing. Of course, we all know this one. And then the R766. I'm excited. See if it'll show us the journey. Oh. So the 6029 is picking up in Newcastle. Not bad. Not bad. And then what's the other interchange? No, but I believe that's the same one. No, pulled by diesel. That's awesome, though. That's pretty cool. They're gonna have family games and stuff like that too. You have not missed any action yet, Ozzy. It's gonna show off the show some more information on the Hunter Valley Fest. Try to find the most recent one. Oh, here's an ad for it. Oh no, this is the theme festival in March. What are you doing, Mr. Ryan? And loud.
Are you on live by yourself right now?
Yep.
So they're done already, or what?
No.
Oh, they're just done and coming back?
Yeah, they haven't gotten there yet.
I don't even get the fucking I shouldn't even be trying to smoke right now. Should be getting out of here and going.
The commercial for last year's Steam Fest. Wow, there's a whole lot of videos on the Hunter Valley Steam Fest. Oh, see, this one just looks fun. I want to show this one. I can't just show whatever I want because of the copyright stuff. Hi, Mr. Mark.
Hello, how are you doing this morning?
Good. Robbo did not charge his phone. He was sure he plugged it in and it did not charge.
Yeah, I did catch that at one stage, so that's a real shame.
Yeah. But I did show off his morning trains from Tormir, and I was looking at some of the Hunter Valley Steam Fest videos, but I'm not sure what's copyright not, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Outside of what is.
All right, no worries. Do you want truck view or do we want street view for me? Because I'm about to get rolling. So
Street view should work just fine.
I'll sit here and talk and ask any questions you like.
Yeah.
I'll just go back camera. There we go. We'll see if I can get that a bit better. There we go.
Much better.
Morning, Ryan.
Different trains on the website just now. And what is the difference between the Garrett and the R?
Okay, so the Garrett is essentially 2 steam locomotives in one. So at the time they needed more power, and the way they added more power, when you look at design history of steam locomotives, and your engineers in the UK, in the United States, done it as well. They go, oh, we need more power, so we'll put more wheels underneath it. And the drawback with that is because a steam locomotive is a rigid frame. So that did work up to a point, you know, and they came up with all sorts of crazy ideas. And this can be looked at and researched online. There's plenty of sources online about the history and development of steam locomotives. And there was this race almost to, you know, get the biggest and more powerful, faster locomotives. So, of course, they added, you know, they went to higher boiler pressure, and we did cover this before, but higher boiler pressure, you know, the higher the pressure in the boiler, the more work you can get out of the steam, the more efficient it is. And they started doing things like putting roller bearings, because a lot of steam locomotives, excuse me, were made with plain bearings, and a lot of box cars and wagons were made that way as well. The disadvantage of that was that they were high in maintenance, there was more friction and things like that. So when they went over to roller bearings, you know, that just changed the world. And one of the books I've read is talks about starting tractive effort. Now, why is that important? That's because you need as much power as you can to get your load moving, and in some cases, that's more of a force to overcome than once you get rolling, and that goes the same with any vehicles. However, with a train, you multiply that number by exponentially by the number of wagons or cars you have on, and so the race was on, and to design and develop bigger and more powerful and faster steam locomotives, because, you know, we had to start competing with airplanes. Airplanes were really starting to, you know, in the 50s and the 60s and things like that. So getting back to your original question, the Garrett was designed by Richard Garrett, and his design was essentially to take 2 locomotives and make it into one. The advantage of that is you'd have the extra power, and you're able to go around lightly laid railway line, because railway line comes in all different sizes or poundage. For instance, you can get like 12-pound railway line, and then it sort of it goes up in increments like 12, 24, 48 or 45, and then you go up into 60, 63, 65, 80-pound rail, 90-pound rail, you know, and of course, they all, in the modern day world, they all have metric equivalents. But what you've got to realise is back in the day, a lot of the railway lines were built very cheaply. You know, they didn't have the understanding of track geometry and rail bed and all that sort of stuff. So it was a bit of a compromise to try and get more power, more speed, and be able to run on the railway lines that were already existing, because all these railway lines, and even even the railway lines or the railroads built in your country, Miss Austin, you know, they built them as quickly and as cheaply as possible. Especially, there's a good documentary out there. There's probably been a few, but in recent years, there's a good documentary out there about, you know, building the railroad up over the Rockies, and how they just went hell for leather and they cut corners and a lot of people lost their lives and things like that. So, you know, it's one of those things, you know, they had to work with what they had at the time. And so the Garrett was developed around that. And it is a very successful design. However, like a lot of things, by the time the Garrett came online, really matured to a state where it was an effective locomotive, the diesel locomotives had already made big inroads. And the advantage was that, you know, you could start up a diesel locomotive and have it running within 10 to 15 minutes and driving down the track, whereas a steam locomotive, it would take several hours, you know, for a small one.
Yeah.
Even up to, you know, 4 hours or 5 hours to get it actually up and running and going. So that was the drawback. And of course, you know, the other thing was that when you needed more than one steam locomotive on a heavy train, you needed another locomotive, which is another locomotive crew, and of course, you know, cost. You know, everyone's screaming about costs, and where the advantage of the diesel locomotive is that, one, you could get it up and running very quickly, and number two, you can put multiples together, so you could have 2 and 3 easily connected together to either double or triple your horsepower, you know, within a very short period of time. So, and the reason why, depending on what part of the world you're in, steam lasted a lot longer in other places than in some other countries. Like here, my state here, where I live in Queensland, Australia, the Queensland Railways were still running steam fairly heavily up until the 1960s, even into the 70s on regular service, and which was unheard of in some of the other states because they had already gone over to diesels. And if steam locomotives were still running, it was on for a yard shunter or steelworks or something like that. So, so even though the Garrett is a very big locomotive and weighs heavy, it has a lot of wheels or axles, and you can spread the weight over the axles. So the loading on the actual axles is very light. I heard you and Robbo talking earlier, and yeah, the Garretts were basically designed to haul freight.
Yeah.
And
well, I feel like
if you look up,
needed to be serviced and hauled a long way, you would use a Garrett to do it.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, there is some photos. If you just, excuse me, those who are interested, if you just look up Garrett locomotives, New South Wales Government Railways, something like that, or NSWGR 6029, there's plenty of historical photos of those locomotives running up and down a particular section there in New South Wales. And they utilised, at the time, they utilised whatever steam locomotives they had on hand. Garretts were one, and then they had various other classes of locomotive. So yeah, there's plenty of information out there.
And the R model is what kind?
Okay, so the R class is what they call a Pacific locomotive, you know, as in like Pacific Ocean, spelled the same way. And it's 4-6-2 wheel arrangement. When you look at a locomotive on side on, you'll see the wheels or the axles. So it has four wheels at the front, 6 driving wheels, and 2 at the back. The R-Class are an express locomotive. Once again, this is back in the day where our engineers also took a lot of, tips, and they looked at what you guys were doing in the States at the time. You know, you had the streamlined locomotives and, bigger driving wheels, and also we were heavily influenced by, our connection with the United Kingdom, and the basic principle is, as a rough idea, if you have a look at the diameter of the driving wheels, usually, of course, specified in inches, the general rule of thumb is that a locomotive could do, in miles per hour, the diameter of the driving wheels in inches. So if it had 65-inch diameter driving wheels, theoretically, the story was that the locomotive could do 65 miles an hour. However, that depended on track conditions, the grade, how big the train they were towing, they were dragging behind them. So there's quite a lot in it, actually. When you look at modern day diesel locomotives that you see now that are running around North America, even around here in Australia, the design is very similar. In terms, you have the diesel engine, which powers the generator to supply power to the traction motors. Now, the traction motors are just huge electric motors that fit in between the wheels of the locomotive, and you'll see a front bogie and a rear bogie and a big fuel tank in the middle. And with modern technology, these locomotives can put out in excess of 4,000 horsepower per unit. So at the time, when you go back and look at history at the time and how we started, most of us were using horse and buggy, and the horse or the ox was the thing that ploughed the fields, did the heavy work, and then the steam locomotive came along, or steam engine came along in all sorts of shapes and sizes, steam rollers, steam road rollers, and steam traction engines and things like that. So that was the horsepower, and then you didn't have to have a team of bullocks to plough your field. Now you could use this steam engine to plough your field. And then, of course, the internal combustion engine came along, and in terms of efficiency, the internal combustion engine, which I'm driving now, which we all use, is more efficient than the steam engine. So the history of the diesel engine, that's a pretty interesting one too. There's a good video. There's some good videos on YouTube if anybody wants to look at those about the history of the diesel engine, made by the guy Diesel. That was his last name, and of course he invented it, so the name stuck.
Yeah. That's funny. I never knew that.
Yeah, he's a German guy, German inventor. And of course, we refined the internal combustion engine for the last 100 years. It's progress, and we just take it for granted now. We've taken it for granted for a long time.
Yeah.
And of course, now we've seen, and electric motors have been around for donkey's years.
Yeah.
We got to thank Nikola Tesla for a lot of the things we take for granted in the electricity world.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff in his patents that still not have been released yet.
Right.
But it's pretty amazing what he designed and came up with back in his time. He's another interesting gentleman to look into, his history, and a lot of people have made videos about him and what he did and what he invented and how we're still using that technology that he invented all that long ago.
Yeah.
So
it is pretty crazy to think that he had ideas for for things that even then probably couldn't have been made.
yeah.
If he would have made them with the stuff that he had, he wouldn't have succeeded, because it's taken us how long to perfect what he started.
Yeah, well, we're very, in some respects, we're very slow to adapt to change. Most humans don't like change, and that's why when you meet some people, you come across, and you get to know them. You look at their house. It seems like they're living back almost in the 1940s or something like that. And they don't use modern technology. I think I don't have to correct me if I'm wrong, but fax machines. I heard a story. I think fax machines were actually invented in the 1920s or 30s.
Yeah.
And so we just go along with the technology we have at the time, and that sort of relates.
If it's not broke, don't fix it attitude.
Yeah, that's it. And that was much the same as the poor old steam locomotive. When you look at a steam locomotive today, not much has changed since it was perfected over 120 years ago. Really, that design has not changed much at all in terms of the way the boiler is and how we transmit the power to the wheels, and it's just amazing how little has changed in that time for a steam locomotive. Now, there was a gentleman, I've got a book at home called The Red Devil and Other Tales of the Steam Era. And it was about this gentleman. He's still alive. He must be quite old now. Back in the 70s, he started working. He wanted to work on steam locomotives as an engineer. And he initially went to South Africa, and he started making some design changes to a steam locomotive to make it more efficient, because the downside of a steam locomotive was that, every so often you have to stop and do servicing, clean the fire, take on water, take on coal. Maintenance was a big issue because of, so he along with another engineer who was in Argentina at the time, really came up with some minor design changes that could be done at an engineering works or in-house maintenance in a shop in the locomotive workshop for efficient. And you're right. You got me.
Yeah. You're cutting out a little bit. Giuseppe asked, whereabout are you?
I just went through a bad section. It's notorious for being a bit. So anyway, just to recap, this engineer, he went to South Africa at the time, and he's got this book, and it's very technically heavy. But essentially, he went there to improve the reliability of a steam locomotive, and he found a number of shortcomings with the design of the locomotive itself, because South Africa at the time was still getting locomotives built in the United Kingdom and other places because they had relatively cheap labour and a large supply of coal that they could use to burn in the steam locomotives. Yeah. So eventually, however, at this time, they decided that they were going to dieselise like a lot of other countries. And although their oil reserves in South Africa weren't abundant like in other places, they still decided to go that way to modernise their railway.
Mm-hmm.
However, this guy did prove he modified 2 locomotives, and one initially with some very minor changes, which improved the performance, and then he did another locomotive which drastically improved the performance, overall. And the idea was to reduce consumption of coal and water, also reduce maintenance and so on. And he did actually achieve that. He did a great job, but unfortunately, at the time, the powers that be just didn't think that, they already made a change to go to dieselise. So, but it's an interesting read. It's very technical in places, but yeah, that's just me getting notifications. So it's a little where I'm just climbing a range at the moment. It's only a small one. It's quite, the road's a bit wet. It's a bit foggy. I'm heading west of my location from work and going out to a job to this town not far away from me, where they had a sighting of Bigfoot back in, I believe, the late 1970s, and they erected a statue and they've got one of those cut out things where you can stick your head through and get your photo beside the Sasquatch, and it's sort of made the town. The other big thing about this particular town, Kilcoy is its name, it has a meatworks, a very large meatworks, and it employs a lot of people from the local community.
Cool.
I'm going to have some water. Oh. So anything else exciting being happening?
Ozzy's talking about the $10 donation for the plaque.
Yep.
So I got to remember to let Robbo know about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's the weather like in your part of the world today?
It is steady, full sun, no clouds today. Oh, Robbo's here.
Hello.
Robbo's here. Hello, Robbo. How's it going?
Well, still got no bloody train yet. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm still keeping an eye on it.
I see the sun has finally come up.
Yeah, finally. So, g'day, Aussie.
He would like to talk to you about your PayPal, he said.
Oh, okay. It's what is it? www.paypal.me /Robbo TDV. Something like that. But yeah, there's no sign of this train yet, and I haven't got much battery.
All right. Well, you do you want to hold off until you can see it?
Yeah. How much longer can you stay on, Mark?
I've probably got another 15 minutes or so before I get to the job site.
Well, hopefully the train will turn up by then.
Yeah. Well,
so the first train is due out now.
Yeah, right. So they run a bit behind time.
Yeah, and both the yard gates are still closed, so there's no sign of them at all.
Right.
Like,
so they haven't.
I did see the headlight on one of the locos light up though, so I know there's something going on.
Yeah. Can you see steam rising anywhere or smoke rising from the where they are? Where they stop?
At a distance, yes.
Right.
So it's not. I don't think they're coming down to the gate yet, but
Right.
hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I've still got a little bit of battery, but yeah, probably maybe 30%.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well,
So
look, I'll stay on because I've still got about another 15 minutes of driving. So you jump off and come back on when you're ready.
okay, mate. Well, hopefully I'll see you soon.
Righto. No worries, Robbo. Take it easy.
All right, see you.
See ya. Yeah. So this job site I'm going to, hopefully, it's either the road's quite wet where I am at the moment. Hopefully, where I'm going to, it's going to be dry. If it's not dry, I can't get onto the job site.
Right. You have random rainstorms like this quite often.
That's the perils of my job. Sometimes I have to crawl under a machine.
Well, no, I just mean getting your truck to where the machine is.
Yeah, well, if I can't go to where it is, usually the machine will come to me.
Okay.
And so where the road ends, then the part of the driveway onto the job site is actually gravel.
Yeah.
So we'll move the machine to where this. But if it's too wet, it's too wet. Simple as that. The other thing is this machine I'm doing a service on. It broke down yesterday, so I have no idea where it is on the job site. Things like that. But yeah, it looks like they've had a fair bit of rain up here.
Yeah.
It's just very wet. Oh, this small town I'm going through now. I'm going through the small town called Woodford. Now, here in Australia, there's several places called Woodford, but this is Woodford, Queensland, and this is where the Railway Museum I'm involved with. This is the town that we're in, and this place is rapidly expanding. Once upon a time, it was sort of out back of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
And actually, on this place, we have a jail here, or a correctional facility, I should say, and I think it's one of the biggest jails in our part of town.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a supermax or it's a fairly big prison. It's not. We've just gone past here. It's just a few kilometres down that way. And back in the day, earlier days, you'd hear of reports that an inmate had escaped or something like that. But these days you don't hear about things like that. If they either escape and they catch them before they do, or they've just got it too good inside. If you look at some of these jails, some of these prisons, what they have, it's almost better than what people who are living on the street are getting, because they've got a roof over their head all the time.
Yeah.
3 square meals a day and various things. But anyway, so that's my part of town. I do have a jail close to me. I don't know if you got one near you.
We have jails in our larger towns, and if there's a courthouse, there's a jailhouse.
Yeah.
But there's a large prison, Pelican Bay actually. So a well-known prison for the Pacific Northwest is not that far from us. I mean, technically it is far from us, but it is not that far from us.
Yeah.
About
is that jail warden? Is that the correct term? Warden, the guy who runs who's the head guy that runs the jail?
I am not sure.
Yeah,
I would have to. I could look that up real quick.
Quite a few years ago, there was a guy in America, a warden or whatever you call him. But he was most famous for making his inmates sleep in tents. And
That
I
one
think he
is in
made it
Arizona.
in Arizona. Is he still in charge? Is he still doing the same thing? He made them wear pink overalls or something like that. He made them work and
Tent City
he
Jail.
made 'em- yeah. Is that still going?
Let me see.
Because there was a debate whether.
Oh no, there was a new sheriff as of 2017, and he wanted to close it.
Right. Because at the time there was a bit of a debate that, you know, it didn't make any difference to rehabilitation of the inmates and things like that. But his thinking was, well, you know, there's people out there worse off than you. You go sleep in a tent, you get very basic food or something like that. And
They did it as they've done work camps like that here in where we're at, where they would get in trouble for, like, say, a bar fight, you know, drunken, stupid, I was drunk.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy, I got a good job, I'm a good family man. You know, bad things, you know, there was a death of the family. I had an excuse to be drunk and stupid. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Then you would have to go for a month every weekend and volunteer 10 to 12 hours a day for the Saturday and Sunday, you know, that it was.
Yeah.
You would have to volunteer 12 hours during that weekend and do it 4 times a month, and then your time was served instead of sending you to court, having you see a judge, things like that. They had that kind of power.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. Now you are paying fines and your court date is pushed out so that your case stays open, so that money is paid. Does that make sense? That's
Yeah.
The money has to go from one hand to another hand to another hand to another hand, even though your punishment does not fit the crime.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, getting back to the work camps, in the early days of the Robbo Museum that I belonged to, we used to get the low-risk prisoners come down and help us out at the museum site. And,
that would go against time served, correct?
Yeah, well, these were actually prisoners, as in they were in, but they were the really low. They were the ones who were probably close to getting out or you know, low risk, and you know, they'd come down with there'd be about 30 prisoners or something like that, and maybe 2 or 3. There wasn't many prison guards. The prison guards had their weapons with them, and it wasn't a problem. Some of them didn't do any work at all. They were just happy to be outside, and others did do work, and it did work out quite well. But you know, you had to really supervise what needed to be done, because otherwise they would just do virtually whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
And none of them ever, even though the risk of them to escape was they could easily hide somewhere, none of them ever did. Or I didn't know of any of them doing that. But back in the days when back in the early days here in Australia, in Robbo's state in New South Wales, they actually did use the prisoners or the convicts to build for cheap labour and build railroads and railways and things like that. Here in Queensland, I don't think we really did that. It was all contractors, and hence why you know, everything was focused around money. And the funny thing is this also stems back to why we have all the different gauges. You know, like New South Wales was always standard gauge, which is the same 4 feet 8.5 inches that you guys run on, standard gauge. Victoria was different again. they were 5'3", you know. And at one stage, I think it was which one was it? So Victoria was broad gauge, which was 5'3", and this also stems back to the English engineers, because you had Brunel, the famous English engineer, Isambard Brunel, oh God, I can't think of his name. He's a very famous English engineer, and some of his structures are still around today, as in some of the stuff he built at the time, some bridges and things like that. He's a very famous engineer. I think his gauge for his railway was 7'3". That was broad gauge. No, that was King's gauge. Or it had a particular name, and I think his theory was the wider the gauge, the smoother the ride, or something like that.
Right. You could take a turn in that sense. You're not just that though. You imagine the comforts of a room is at least 6 feet, right?
Yes.
So
you're
thinking furniture, and you're thinking installation, you're thinking wiring. So 7 feet would make a room.
Yeah. So well, that was the gauge of the track, 7 feet wide. Is some funny 7'3" or something like that. It was some strange. But there was a theory behind it, and off the top of my head, I just can't think of it. But in the history of railways or railroads, it's been all over the place, and that major problem here in Australia for a long time. You went from my state, Queensland, down to New South Wales. At a certain point, you had to stop at a station, get off that train onto another train. You know, and that was happening during World War II, and it was in partly
that's a lot of freight moving from one to another train. Yeah. Starting to lose you.
Double handling was unbelievable. Yeah.
Lost you for a minute there.
Yeah, I thought we might have. Thankfully, in part to the partnership we had with you guys during World War II, being allies, and we still are today. Your thinking and weighing to do things, or really advance what we did, and
just
so
imagine
now,
the large cranes moving the freight from one train to the next. Basically one train backing up to link on to from one track to another. Just the amount of interchangeable tracks to because you can't just pull another train and it's because of the way it's not like there's interchangeable tires on a train caboose either, or a freight line that you could just switch the tires around so that they would fit the link of the rail too. So that just has to be frustrating. I lost Mark again. Going through the mountains. There you are. Can you hear me? No, he's going in and out. Oh no. I do love the view though. I mean, it's a bit haunting with the fog, but he did go through two different seasons right now. He just went through the sun, through the... Oh no, we lost him for good. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I lost you for a while. It's quite sketchy.
I was just talking about how daunting it is that he went through sunny weather to the rain, and now you're in the fog.
Yeah, well, this so it's 6:39 a.m. here, or 6:40, 20 to 7 in the morning,
Yeah.
and here out sort of west of where I am, it is a bit cooler, so you're going to get that fog, and this fog will go away after a while.
Yeah, once the sun comes up.
So, yeah, the sun is coming up, but yeah, I suppose it's going to be a while. This is quite a heavy fog. This is the thickest I've seen it for a while, but I haven't been out this way in a long time. So in terms of this early in the morning, anyway.
Yeah. Do you find out about your priority, like which way you're going, or do you go in a large circle, or do you spider web? You go out, go back, go back.
I try and go in a circle, but that doesn't always work out, and sometimes I do double up on myself, or I have to double up. It all depends. This particular job that I'm going to, we've just started. We're doing the bulk earthworks, and I was there yesterday afternoon, and I was going to do a service on a machine, and they said, no, you can't do it. We're moving dirt. Yeah, usual story. That's what we do for.
Yeah.
It's funny. The moment you want to do a service on a machine, no, you can't do it. We got to move all this dirt.
Yeah.
Throw your arms up in the air, and then so I left. I did what I have to do. I left my job, and
so you got to go.
And
back.
on the way back, on the way back, at some point the machine, the truck I was going to service, the dump truck I was going to service, broke down.
Oh no!
So they can't use it now. So then they said, "Oh, come and do it in." Sorry.
You're telling them, what do you think I was there for? Okay.
Well, no, something else has failed on it that I have no control over. So because we run mostly Caterpillar parts, so we had to get a new part from Caterpillar, and this is not just a cheap part. It's something like $2,500. It's a brake caliper for one of our dump trucks. So there's a Caterpillar depot around the corner from us at work. So here's the meatworks. This is the Kilcoy meatworks on the right. They do they process a lot of beef cattle.
Yeah.
That's what they do here. It's a huge complex. A lot of beef cattle go in there thinking, oh great, we're going for a road trip, and then they spend their last few days here and get the hit on the head or whatever they do, and we last year we did some work here out the back of their plant for them, and so this truck is now broken down, so I can't do. One particular bloke, he's a bit. We think he's a bit on the spectrum, and he seems to, get excited very quickly, so to speak. And so anyway, this truck is now can't be used, so it's an ideal time for me to come and do a service on it, which is good. So we're now, thankfully, we're now approaching. Sorry, Miss Austin.
I said, of course, that there's no excuse that it's being used.
Yeah. Well, they can't use it because they can't drive it.
Ozzy wants to know how many liters of diesel a day do you put into the machines on average?
Okay, so roughly between all the jobs we got going, it's about anywhere. Well, okay. anywhere from up to about 3,500 litres a day.
Well,
So
almost
that's
your full truck.
Sorry.
Almost your full truck.
Yes. I can carry maximum of 4,000 litres of diesel in this truck. I'm not sure what that is in gallons, but yeah. And usually my truck has enough to get all the jobs done because, as you would appreciate, most jobs are in various stages. So this job we're starting here, it's the bulk earthwork side of things. So
Yeah.
when you're doing bulk earthworks, you got more machines, and they're working harder, so they're going to be using more fuel. And then it comes down to the civil stage. That's where they start putting in the roads and doing the house blocks or the lots. So the job site's still using fuel, but not as much.
Yeah.
So there's a few variables, but generally speaking, yeah, anywhere up to 4,000 litres a day, I can put it spread amongst the jobs we have going, because we've got jobs all over the place. This is at this rate, at this stage.
Not sure why we lost him that time.
Miss Austin, can you kick me out, please?
Yes, I can. Looks like he is taking a call. Hopefully the trains are getting to Robbo soon. I know he was saying they were late. That was over 20 minutes ago. It's always nice when Mark drops in. Always learn something new. 6:20 a.m. So it's definitely late. It says significant delays, but I don't believe I am looking on the right one. I'm looking to see the timetable. I can't see where it is. It looks like it's yes, it is fun. Yes, it is over 25 minutes late. It is fun watching him drive around.
Hello.
Hey, we were just talking about. I was trying to look up the timetable
Transport Heritage New South Wales Facebook page, but yeah, it's giving the on time times.
Yeah,
But definitely not on time.
definitely not all the time.
I can see big plumes of smoke in the distance though, so there is something happening. I have no idea what time it's going to come down.
Yeah.
And I've just gone to 20% battery. Great.
Mark got a call, so he had to jump out.
Is he coming back?
Not sure. We were talking quite a bit. He was getting close to the job site, so
Oh. Yeah, well, looks like I'm only going to be able to show the first train. Thanks, Aussie. Yeah, I think I'm just going to save my battery as much as I can until this first train leaves, and then we'll wrap it up.
okay.
And I don't know when that first train's going to come down. So, I don't know. I've got no idea what the hold up is. But yeah, are you able to show anything between now and when I come back?
Yeah, sure.
Um,
He thought he charged it, Aussie, and it didn't.
yeah, the battery charger didn't charge it. That's what happened. So I will come back to you soon.
Yes.
As soon as I can see something worth seeing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that it'll be very soon. But I am actually seeing a lot of smoke now, so I'm hoping that it's going to be very soon.
Yes.
I believe the steam loco is heading down from the workshop now.
Okay.
So when it gets closer to where I am, I'll come back, and it should hopefully not be too long. All right.
Awesome. Yes.
I will. Yeah, it's really blowing a lot of steam now. So yeah, it should be very soon. All right,
Okay.
I'll come back to you shortly.
Alrighty.
All right, see ya.
Okay, bye. I'm gonna show something else on the YouTube channel. Go to Robbo's page. Videos. I'll show off another video from Blue Mountains. Show off the 3801 since we're not going to actually see that one today.
G'day guys, Robbo here again. Today, 3801 will be hauling the Blue Mountains Flyer to Lithgow, and we'll be chasing it.
Hi, Paul. I love this one. This is one of my favorites with all the steam. We are not going to see the 3801 coming. They're running far, far behind. That would be pretty cool, Ozzy. It would be pretty cool to ride this train.
Good afternoon, customers on platform 2. The steam train is shortly due to arrive within the next 30 seconds, so stand behind the other line as the floors are slippery. Thank you.
That's one of my favorite ones here.
I have an update, and it's not a good one. So apparently there's track work on the main line that's had to happen overnight, and the train is now not going to leave for another 45 minutes, and my battery's not going to hang on that long. And I can't hear you because you're muted.
Dang it.
I know. So there was train work overnight.
Yeah.
Track work overnight. And
They said there was a delay, but it didn't say anything about.
Yeah. So there was urgent track work. So something's happened overnight with track work. And basically the train's not going to leave for another 45 minutes at least.
And we were worried about you being there too late, that it would take off too early.
Yeah, and I could have stayed home and charged my phone.
Is there any way that you have enough battery to do a video so that you can put up a short later of it? Or a video just an upload of it so we can watch it later?
I can try, but I just don't know if my battery's going to hang on that long.
All right.
Yeah, I'll try though.
Okay. Well, I would hate for you to have to sit around and wait for another 45 minutes to get.
Yeah, no, I don't think my battery's going to hang on that long. So I'm less than 20% now. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will.
Yeah, it really sucks, and I don't know what to do about this stream because this stream's supposed to be about steam trains, and
yep, there's Mark.
I'm probably not going to get any steam train action.
Hey guys.
So Mark, did you hear me update?
No, sorry, Robbo. Just hang on. Let me put my AirPods in, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Just wait for it to change over.
Yeah.
There we go. Come on, baby. Oh, for frig's sake.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Oh, you still there, Mark?
You might have got another call. That's what happened last time.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm back. Yeah, I did actually get a call before. I'm back finally.
All right. So so apparently overnight there's urgent track work on the railway line, and now the steamers need to leave later.
Yeah, right.
And I don't have enough battery power, I don't think, to get to last that long.
Yeah,
because my stupid battery didn't charge overnight, and so we've got 40 minutes until the train's due to go, but I don't know if my battery's going to hang on that long.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, if you're streaming, it's up. You know, if you want to, it's up to you. If you want to go grab some brekkie or something like that and come back and stream later, that's up to you. But
yeah, but I don't know if I've got enough battery. That's what I'm saying.
Because it's already under 20%.
I'm less than 20% battery.
Yep.
And I just don't know if it's going to hang on that long.
Yeah, it probably won't, Robbo.
No, I don't think it will either.
I'm thinking that because I'm not going to be able to get what I was hoping to get for this stream, I'm just wondering whether we keep this stream up or not.
Meh.
No,
We had a good talk.
Hey?
We had a good talk about steam trains and diesels and the difference between them, and we had a good 45-minute hour conversation.
Well,
yeah, I waffled on.
Yeah, we had a good time. I learned some things.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we're here for, to learn.
Okay, so one of my workmates just came and told me to come back in an hour.
Oh no.
Right. Okay.
Even if you
No, that's-
got back to your house, you wouldn't have enough time to charge it before you had to get back to where you were.
Yeah, no, yeah. He said I'm better off waiting another hour. So it's definitely not going to come down anytime soon. And my battery just dropped down to 10%.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
All right.
When you're doing live streaming like this, it chews crap out of the battery like you wouldn't believe.
So,
Ozzy said he sent a donation earlier. Robbo, please don't mention my real name, please. That's our secret.
all good, mate. All good, Aussie. Can you find out from, because I'm obviously going to have to go in a second,
Yeah.
but can you find out from Aussie if he would like his name added to the plaque or poster that's going to be made?
He heard you, so he's here. So hopefully,
Well, ask him if he, yeah.
yeah, it'll be your.
if I-
You can have your YouTube name. It doesn't have to be your real name.
Yeah, YouTube name, yeah. Yeah, it won't be the real name.
You're breaking
'Cause
up, Robbo. I don't know whether it's me or
He
you
sent me
guys.
$10, so. But yeah, like my battery's going to go in.
Yes, if you want to add his YouTube name, that'd be username. That'd be great.
I will.
Yeah, Robbo. You have a good one, mate. Thanks for
Yeah,
trying.
you too.
It's sterling effort.
All good, mate. Thanks.
I think we still
all right,
keep the view because, like I said, we did have a good talk.
Yeah, well, that's good. Okay, so if there was plenty of talk about trains and stuff, I guess we'll keep this stream up.
Okay.
And
all right.
I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m.
Yes. See you guys at 8 p.m.
Oh.
3 p.m. my time.
Yeah, no, you won't. You won't see me. I'll be tied up with family. So,
Oh, no.
if I do get the chance, I'll probably just hang out in the background. I'll lurk in the background later on.
Have a good night if we don't get to see you, Mark.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Austin. You have a wonderful day, and thanks, Robbo, for trying your best. But some things are just out of your control.
Yeah, that's it.
See you
All right,
guys. Thank you very much.
See you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Sorry we didn't get to see the Garrett, but hopefully we'll get to catch it on its way back. Maybe not because it's on a Monday. So I'm sure we'll get another chance to check it out. We'll sit on top of that schedule. I'm sure me and Robbo will. So you guys have a great rest of your morning. Hopefully see you guys tonight. Bye-bye for now.